place in Florida just a week ago. So we have asked Martin Rafferty, who's the executive director of Youth Era out in Oregon, to come up and say a few words. Youth Era, if you don't know, I write about them a lot in Friday Update. They probably do more work in first responder work in working with schools who have unfortunately had school shootings than anyone in the nation. And the fact that they're peer-led organization that does amazing work. So, Martin, would you mind just coming up, just very few quick words? We'd appreciate it. Martin Rafferty, please.
How did you respond when you heard about the first massive school shooting? How did you explain it to your kids? How did you explain it to yourself? With the Youth Era, we responded to our first school shooting that most of you probably didn't hear about. Little school in southern Portland, Reynolds High School. We responded a month later. The shooting happened 3 days before school was to be released, and the administration couldn't get resources to the students because they simply weren't, the families weren't responding. So we came in and did some work. We used virtual reality to create a focus on things that could help youth imagine moving forward. But it was 6 months, a year, 2 years after that really started to depress me. Because after the cameras turn off, after our attention goes to the next massacre, we seem to forget about these students whose lives are changed forever, whose families' lives are changed forever. And so thoughts and prayers aren't enough. But we owe our thoughts and prayers to these families, to these young people. Because when we move on as a nation with our attention, they are stuck here forever. Forever. So I'd like to ask for a few moments of silence. Send your prayers, your energy. And then I want to talk about one quick hopeful thing. That was 1 second for every life lost here in Florida in the last major massacre. But it's not hyperbolic to mention that something different happened here in Florida, something new. And I think it's fair to say that the work that we do has been about youth voice, has been about cultivating youth voice. I think we were early champions. I really do believe that this conference, these communities have been early champions of youth voice. And something happened in Parkland, something happened right here in Florida that I've never seen before. And believe me, I've been looking for these students that rose up with such dignity against all of the less than dignifying things that came at them. And they responded with youth leadership, youth voice. Not the theory that we've been practicing here, that we've been trying to cultivate, but a real world, a real effect, the power of youth voice. And they've already changed things. They've already shown the world how we can move forward. And so I want you to move forward with them and think to yourselves, if thoughts and prayers aren't enough, what are we doing individually in our communities? At our table, you can come, the youth era, we have our table right out there. We will link you up with a toolkit that will help you be a good adult ally to young people in your community. Another march is coming up. We can figure this out if we partner with these young leaders and if we keep reaching for the dignity that they have shown in the face of all of this horror. Thank you.